Well, I've got so many things going this morning. It's Saturday. I'm sure glad to be able to see y'all. Feeling a lot, not a lot, but some better today. Uh, so I went ahead and I sauteed some more spinach and I put them in my pie shell here because I told y'all I was going to make that quiche out of some spinach. Well, I went ahead and sauteed some more that I had gotten. I'm just going to put that, we're going to try this. I'm going to put that in the bottom of my pie shell. And then, let me see. Let me get some, it's easy. It's easy as pie to do a quiche. Y'all don't know that. I'll tell y'all that. Uh, I'm going to get some of these onions. Nothing like good onions. So I'm going to get some of these onions I've got in the freezer. And I'm going to just get I don't know. I'm just going to get about, small clump like that. Let's put that in my pan. Put them back in the freezer. Wrap them up. Wrap them up. Now let's get us some. Let's get us some eggs. I've got two of one kind and one of the other kind. So we'll just use. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use these brown eggs. So we've got 1, 2, 3 brown eggs. That'll get rid of the brown eggs. We don't need the white eggs because I've got egg whites here. Well, I guess I could use, when you have to use what you got, I'll put 1 egg. I don't want to use all my egg whites, so I'll just use 3 and 2. That 5 eggs, 5 to 6 eggs is plenty. And that'll get rid of that. I won't have to use my egg beaters, egg whites, liquid egg whites. I might want to make a pie or something. And that saves me from having to. It saves me from having to. So I'm just going to put those down in there. Put my eggs, break them in my bowl. Usually I break them into a small bowl. Then I'll put them in that. Okay. The ears are stopped up today, so you just have to bear with me. Just bear with me today. Hope y'all are doing okay on this Saturday. I'm trying to. I didn't want to make a real deep quiche today. So, let me rinse my hands. And now we can put that into these. Sometimes I'll put a little hot water in, just a little bit into my onions. See there? And then that will just kind of break them up. And now you got your onions. Alright. I'll put my little cardamom. Love cardamom. Y'all know I use it quite often. But when you can't have salt, the best thing you can do is to use spices. to outdo the feeling like you don't have any salt. And put some garlic. Just not a whole bunch. That's garlic powder, not garlic salt. Don't go haywire on me. Put a little pepper. Now then, let's just kind of get that mixed up there. Now I'll get on my whisk. Now I'll go ahead and put my eggs down into that. Now, if you wanted to, you could put ham in this. You could put whatever, like I've told you before. Quiche, or do whatever you want to the quiche. Usually, most time I'll mix the spinach in with it, but I decided, no, today I'm just going to lay it in the bottom. Get that out of there. The egg will get on you. So, now if you want to, you can take your blended cheese. Best thing I can do. That's the way I do it. Best way for me to do it is I just layer it. Just kind of on top of that spinach there. Cheese is good. You don't have to overdo it, but kids, they'll seem to eat this more if there's a cheese. All right, now I'm just going to put my eggs and my onion on top of that. Kind of good. Now that'll rise up once you get that in the oven. So now I'm going to put that on 350. Put a little pepper on top. I think it makes it look a little better when you just add a little pepper. You can do whatever you want to. Put a little of this, put a little of that. So I'm going to put that on 350 for about 25 minutes. Okay, got the quiche in there, and now I'm peeling my sweet potatoes. Easiest thing to do is get your vegetable peeler. Just go right down the. Usually I'll do this in the sink, but I can't move y'all over there because the camera arm is not long enough. So you can buy sweet potatoes in a can. I'm going to get all the little off of them. But if you don't, do them yourself. Now there's going to be several dishes through the Christmas and Thanksgiving holidays that we use sweet potatoes. I just wanted to show you easiest pie to get your little vegetable peeler. Get it all over your stove. And it's just so easy. They just come off like butter. So don't sit there trying to harpoon yourself with your knife. And you just get a substandard or standard or in however you want to do it. I've had vegetable peelers that are expensive that didn't work. I've had cheap ones. This one is not a very expensive one, but it works. I like it. I don't know where I got it, but might have got it at Walmart. I don't know. I just take all the brown and all the peel off. Do so much and think sweet potatoes are so good for you. Unreal. Now we've got 4 sweet potatoes. And I'll get this nest cleaned up and I'll be back. Okay, so I got the sweet potatoes after I had to fight with the garbage disposal. It just didn't like what I was doing, so of course it erupted everywhere. But other than that, we're just fine. I hear the quiche, so let's take the quiche out. Lord, don't let the quiche burn. Let me get that out. Oh. Now, there's our quiche. Come out really nice. It's firm. It's browned well. See, I told y'all it didn't take much to do your quiche. The crust looks good. Everything looks good about it. Look at that. See that. So now you got an onion spinach quiche for your guests. Since this is Thanksgiving week, I'd make 3 or 4 of those and have them for my guests when they come. Got my sweet potatoes peeled here. And what I'm going to do on those is I'm going to get my small regardless cutting board, put it here in the middle, and I'm going to examine these. Let me get one of my knives. See, I'm not going to need a lot, but I want these cut today. I'm just going to use probably one of these. I'll peel those and they'll be ready to put in dressing or cook on the stove or do whatever. I'm just going to cut this sweet potato up. I used to love having Thanksgiving and Christmas. All the children's voices and the elderly people's voices all entwined together telling stories, or do you remember when? But now it's just Mother and I. And we don't reminisce too much about it because it's more sad to talk about it than to remember it. So we just get through it. A lot of people just get through Thanksgiving and Christmas because they don't have anybody either. You know, people invite you. Come over to our house, or I'm not one of those people. It makes me even sadder because their families come in, you feel kind of like a third wheel, or brings back too many difficult memories. So that's why Mother and I will stay right here and enjoy each other's company, I guess. I think my stepbrother's coming after Thanksgiving. And we might go to my sister's that just her and her husband after my nephew was killed for Thanksgiving Day for a little while. They have chicken and they always have chicken and dressing. But it saves me from having to cook. And I'm going to take green beans and stuff for less fortunate. So I thought, well, I'll just go on and make my quiche, and I've got to cook anyway, so why not just go on and talk to everybody while you're sitting there prepping. So that's what I decided to do. I'm just cutting these up in little small pieces because I'm going to use them in several things, but I'll go ahead and cut them. I'll go ahead and chop them so I can use them. These make a good to put in with your, which I'm going to use these with pork. These will make a good kind of a filling. I'll show you all how to do that. We can cut some of these a little bigger if you want to. See if I can adjust that camera in, maybe. I get a little further, a little closer. It's not set up to get right down on top of it because I didn't set it up that way today. Y'all can see and y'all can hear. I was going to go on live last night, the past couple of nights, and I just hadn't felt like it, y'all. I just have not felt like it at all. Let me get a small bowl, and I'll get my big chop knife. And I'm going to put these in my little bowl there. That's the easiest way to do it, pick it up like that. I use these smaller knives because I just like them. These big ones are okay and you can chop and do all that, but I don't have nothing better to do but sit here and cut these up. So that's what I'm sitting there doing. I've still got to eat. I haven't eaten this morning. Mother, she wanted cereal. She likes quiche occasionally. She's not a quiche kind of gal. She's country and they just didn't have quiche. But I love it. I like it. I don't love. Grandmother said you can't love something that don't love you back, so don't say it. I like quiche. Oh, and if you wanted to on your pork chop dish, you could. Well, I've made dressing with this. With sweet potatoes in it. It was good. That's kind of what I'm going to do with those 2 pork chops that I've got for lunch. Is I'm going to just kind of stuff it. Not really stuff. Well, I guess you could call them stuffed, but they're not. I'm just going to do it my way. So they might have to be too small. Okay, we've got those done. We're not hurrying, we're just taking our time, and if this video runs to be 500 hours, it'll just be 500 hours. I'm not going to worry with it. Okay, so I've got the sweet potatoes. Now, I've got a stove top. You can use a stove top with that if you want to. But I'm going to use just a regular $2.99 traditional stuffing from Miss Cumberson's. And I'm going to follow probably the directions. Let's see what it says on here. So we'll have to do this probably. That's what I figured in a skillet. That's okay. At least you got your bread here. I didn't have to make all that cornbread, and I'm not going to use this whole thing whatsoever. I'm not going to do it. I'm just making sure, y'all. Let me get a pan. Get one of the Corot pans. Move this over. So now let me put that on high and I'll I'll go ahead and get these. I'll go ahead and get these pork chops over with. Done. I'm gonna put some butter in here into my skillet. But I don't. My challenge butter. Back that out just a hair. We'll get that kind of going. And I should have known. Wasn't even thinking, y'all. Let me get this celery pulled off here. Get some celery pulled off there. Let me get this celery kind of. I don't want that them old fangs on there. So I'm gonna pull that off and pull those little thread things. They've got a name for them. Let me turn that down. But I don't like those in my mouth. When I make something, I always take these little celery deals off. Because you don't want that. You don't want those things on your celery. I'm not going to use a whole bunch of this. Let me get another piece of celery that Tell you what, I can't do anything today without having something go wrong. Turn that on down. Okay. Let me get this. I'm just going to pull these off. Because that mess off there. Yeah, that long. Who wants them in their food? I just get a hold of them and I just take that outer edge off. Get all that. Look at that mess you'd have had. Get off your knife, you'll have it in your food. Okay, let's pull this back over here. We'll just saute that a little bit. Saute that down just a little bit. Get this cleaned up. Of course, you know we need some onions. And I ought to put those back in there when I'm still cleaning up this mess. Okay. Get some onions. Y'all buy the Great Value onions, then you know how much better it is. When you do that, just kind of let's get us a few of those. You don't want a whole bunch, but you don't want makes a pretty color, don't it? Let's put a little more. I can get that. I'm coating those with that butter. I'm gonna cook that down a little bit. I saute it just a little bit. Get that butter on. You can microwave this. Okay, now I went into the freezer and got some ocean spray cranberries. I've had these since last year. Trying to still get those little things up. They're frozen. You can take them out. I have them in this bag, but I had them in a freezer bag also. I'm gonna put just some of those in those frozen cranberries. Into my, just get some butter around on them. They'll start popping when they heat up, like popcorn kinda. Isn't that beautiful? Such a. All right, to that, let's add some cardamom. A little cardamom, a little Vietnamese cinnamon. And I have Vietnamese cinnamon. Get that. Since we're going to bake these also, I'm not too concerned about put a little salt in them. And I have salt and sweet. Pepper. I love you, pepper. I'm just going to let those sit there and marry themselves kind of together. Now I'm going to get a little bit of, just a little pan. Not a big pan. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this stuffing up. I'm going to put about, I don't really need a whole lot. We'll just put in about, I'd say probably cup and a half. Get some hot water out of my dispenser. I've got my hot water and I just put it in my stuffing. Now you can use, with me not needing a lot of salt, I don't use chicken broth, but you can. I'm just going to soften that up a little bit. So y'all see how that's cooking down? This makes just a good side dish kind of too. When you cook those down. Now we can go ahead and put our carrots on there, the rest of it. Get that so that they kind of gives you one that's kind of soft, and by the time they get through, then there'll be a little more tooth to it. So you don't have everything too done. So I kind of put my vegetables and certain things kind of in, so they kind of work together. Let me get the Instead of putting that big baking dish in the oven, I'm going to get my false scrap baking dish, and I'm going to do my pork chops in that. So that now I'll wash this pork chops, put it in paprika, then set that in paprika. Small kitchen, remember? Small kitchen. Let me check on the stuffing part of this. Now, I'm going to put some thyme into that. I'm going to put some celery seed, not salt, celery seed into that. Put some sage in it. Let me try. Okay. So I'm going to take a dollar for that stuffing mix. After it tells you how to do it. And I just roll my pork chop like that to get some of this. We'll put this stuff in here, just into that one pork chop. And I'm going to turn it over. Then I'll take the other pork chop, lay it right here. Get some stuffing mix. Take some of our fruit. The cranberry. Make sure you get, don't forget the cranberries. Get your ends down in there. Okay. Make sure you got your ends down in there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this stuffing into this pan. Now I'm just going to mix it around a little bit. So that'll kind of help get those vegetables kind of up. And what I'll do is I'll just pour this kind of around the pork chops. Like that. Okay. My hand. Okay, so now you've got your meat, your two big pork chops, and you've got your stuffing mix. So let me get these bowls out of the way. So now I'll just use this stuffing. I'll take it and put it into another bag. And then on my cranberries, we'll need them this week. So I'll just put some of those into my bowl. Let them thaw out. I guess I could put these others in this bowl so I can get them out of that package. So now I got 2 bowls of cranberries that I got for 99 cents a bag. Let's put a little bit more pepper on this. I'm going to put a little more salt, just so you make sure you got it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a boil. I'm going to cover that up. Cover this up with oil before I put it in the oven. That'll steam that and help that cook better, and it won't get too brown. Okay, we'll put that in our oven for 350. On a regular oven, I'm not exactly sure. Let's see, I'll put it on the convection. Let's see, bake it at 350. Let's put it on convection about 35 minutes. With about 35 minutes on convection, and then we will see where we are with that. So now we got a quiche, we got a stuffed pork chops with cranberry and sweet potatoes. And I'll be back. Okay, so now I gotta have me something to eat. I'm about to starve to death, and I'm gonna cut this quiche. Just so I want a big piece. I tell you, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Make sure you got it cut down there. Okay, so there's the quiche. Very good. We can have a bite of quiche and that. We got the pork chops stuffed pork chops in, and hopefully they get done and we'll get all that taken care of. And I'll be back. Okay, so y'all can see how that filling is. Kind of separates. But it makes a good breakfast meal, especially if you're having a bunch of people in for holidays. Make the quiche. Make these easier things. Make stuff ahead of time so you can sit down and love your family. Okay, well, I'm trying to get this stuff kind of picked up. I feel a little better. I had to go away and eat, y'all. I had to eat some of this quiche. Okay, so I wanted to come check on the stuffed pork chops. So let's get them out of the oven and just check them. See what they're doing. I don't burn myself. I don't burn myself. I just sit here and see. Oh, they're looking beautiful. Look at that. See if I can get that, pull that over. Let's see if I can pull that in. There you go. You know, they're looking beautiful. That's cooking. Oh, they're getting soft. See, all this is cooking. So now we're going to leave our lid off. And we'll put them back in there. See, that's just getting soft as it can be. That's what you want. Okay. Let me get those and put those back into the oven. Now I decided I was going to put that on, so I came back in here and turned it up to 30 more minutes, and we're at 24 now. That's when I smelled them, and I thought I've got to show my friends what's going on. So we'll let those cook for another about 24 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my pan of water. And I'm going to put these sweet potatoes down into it. This is just a good little thing you can do for nutritious. I'll turn that on. Probably that's a little too much water. So pour some of that out. I just like it covering the potatoes instead of using some frozen onion in that. I'm going to get one of these because we need to use them. These are those Vidalia onion, sweet good onion. And have a little onion inside of the onion. Sometimes that happens. I'll take that on off there. Oh, we'll just slice this one. Slice this one. I'm going to give it some flavor. A little flavor. Don't want a whole bunch. Just want enough to give it just a little. I'll put these in some water for our plate. Put those in some ice water. There we go. Now we've got that. We'll get that up to a boil. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put one cranberry in there. Right now. Because like I told you, I like cooking. Then I hold back. I reserve back some different vegetables so that the whole thing is not the same squishy or not done enough. And I'll cook this on down. And that'll make a good sweet potato and cranberry puree. I'll be back. Now to this, we're going to go ahead and a little lemon peel. I'll grate that. Down into that. Plus I'll get a little nutmeg. Get a little nutmeg. Grate that. Then you'll really smell like the holidays. Nothing like a good grated nutmeg. Then we'll get some Vietnamese too. I just put it in there because I don't want this so strong. So some of that water, as this cooks down, will keep that from being so strong. Just like if I put it into the dish after I got it all drained, and I don't want it that strong. Smells your house up. Oh, it smells so. I wish y'all was here. You could smell this. It smells so good. You just can't imagine. And we'll get that to boiling. May have to add the water back because probably will. So let's put a little, let's add a little water back. I got it a little shy there. Just let that cook down. Yeah, I made that good cranberry sauce last year. There's a video on there. I think I'll go ahead and put these in here. Because those won't take a long time to cook. So I should have just put them in there to start with, but sometimes I forget what I'm doing. Y'all can see that. Cook it down. I'm wondering, let me check without taking it out of the oven. Take my knife and put it in my. I think those are done, y'all. I'm gonna let them go ahead and cook. It says they have 13 minutes left to cook on those stuffed pork chops. This is a way you can. I've got turkey, I've got ham, I had pork, but a lot of times people may not have turkey, may not have ham. Pork is at a low price right now, not at all, $39 a pound. So you can take these pork chops and do them that way, stuffed pork chops, and get your fill of dressing and sweet potatoes and all of it, kind of in a one dish wonder. But I want to go ahead and make these because I like just eating this. It's good for you. This is just good for you right here. Sweet potatoes and cranberries and nothing better for you. Let me check the food. It says check the food. So let me check the food. Let's see. Okay. And now then, here we go. There's our stuffed pork chops with celery, onion, sweet potato. Let me get a. Now you can hear those. You can hear these cranberries in here popping. They'll pop. They'll pop. Now, got a meat fork. See how soft that is? Let's cut and turn this. Guess we can cut off about right there. See how soft that is, y'all? Look at that. Just perfect. Perfect. The cranberries, see, they cook. They cook down. Your sweet potatoes have cooked. That's just a good meal right here. Then you don't have to cook all that big old turkey, and you still get the flavors. Get a little fork. I'll take a little bite just to see. A little bit of that dressing. It's hot, so we're going to let that cook because I'm not burning my mouth. Okay, let me store these sweet potatoes and cranberries. Let's see if those sweet potatoes are getting rinsed by. Let's see if my sweet potatoes are getting done at all. They're semi-done, see? You can cut them, so I imagine another 10 minutes. Another 10 minutes and our sweet potato cranberry side dish will be with a little onion, a little bit of spices. Let's see if this is, let's taste this. Oh, y'all. That's better than I thought it would. Hey. And I just ate that quiche. I can still eat a plate of this. It's good. Oh, it's good, y'all. Not just saying it. If y'all were here, you'd see what I'm talking about. See how that got so done and makes an attractive plate. A very attractive dish. And let's get it on that little trivet here. From there, we've got our stuffed pork chops. You could even use spare ribs with this and not have to stuff it. You could just put them down into your dressing. Now see how this is. Some cranberries are. We're going to turn this off. Sometimes I'll turn that off and let it sit. Let me see how, but let me check and see how. See, those are, you don't want to get them too squishy. So I think by the time they set in that water, they're going to be ready to cream. So we'll cream that up kind of. Put some brown sugar, then some more salt, brown sugar, spices to taste. I'm just letting that get so you can see that in that pot. Now, if it ain't, this don't make you want to get into a holiday spirit, I don't know what would. Look how good that looks. So you can take that out. There's so many things you can do with stuff that I cook. And this, you can drain it. And once it gets soft, drain it. Layer it with your marshmallow topping. Just heat it in the oven just to brown the top of the marshmallows. Should have to add brown sugar, a little brown sugar to it. We'll just let that sit down in there. And that'll soften those potatoes up. So that's our stuffed pork chop and cranberry. We had a quiche thrown in this morning. I don't know what else you could want. You need a holiday meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm going to let this calm down, and I got a piece of that crust. That crust is very good. There's a big old potato there. See, that's already softening on up. Look. just cutting like butter. I probably can do this without having to let it set. I'll just go ahead and show y'all how to do this. I'll just get my colander. Let me make sure though, because sometimes I shoot the gun, jump the gun. I want to make sure these are done enough to. Yeah, see, there's just a few more minutes. You don't want them to where they're about to, where they're smushy. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my sink. Then I'm going to take this, make sure it ain't too hot. Okay. Maybe too much for that bowl. I'll show you in just a sec. No, it come out okay. Now then, you check that, see. Make sure, yeah, those will be fine. See how they're just soft? Let me get my pan rinsed out so I can have my sink. I try to keep my sink free of anything just in case something got on fire, or Billy Jean, if I get on fire and he wouldn't have nowhere to put it. So that's why I kind of keep my sink kind of free with what have you. Let's see. Okay. All right. I'm looking for my. Well, let's see. I'm trying to get my brown sugar. I might have a bigger bowl. Gotta have the big bowl. Because that's not gonna work. That is not gonna work. Let me get one of my just a minute, y'all. I'm sorry, it takes me a minute to get things done here. So I'm trying to get one of my sponge painted bowls. I told y'all buy these. You find these sponge painted bowls, popcorn. But they're good, just like what I told y'all. These are good to have all year round. You can use them. Got those for $4.99. Got that bowl for $4.99. See, now there's our cranberry and our sweet potatoes. We're going to check them again. See, that's those will. We'll put some butter on them. We get a dollop of butter. Put some butter down in there. Can't beat the butter. Can't beat eating butter. Now what I usually do is I'll just cut those up with my, kind of chunk them up. Because once we get these, put them in the oven for a little bit, they'll go ahead and soften up. So that's why I didn't want them too soft right now. So let's just, you could have went ahead and diced them up if you'd wanted to. I got stalking, and y'all know me, I get stalking. So now due to the sugar, I'm not going to put, I shouldn't, oh I shouldn't put, marshmallows. I'm doing this so I can't talk or I'll get all crazy. Alright, now then. I'm going to put a little more cinnamon in that. I think it needs a little more. A little Vietnamese cinnamon. I'm going to go ahead and put some again. A little more nutmeg. I'm getting tired if y'all can hear it. That's just part of cirrhosis and cancer. And that's what it is. See how that just grates off there. Now that's going to be some good stuff there. Get everything put up. Just kind of, see that, we just kind of mix that to where it's, now we'll put a, oh I don't know, probably about a half. It's just, I just want them to glaze them. So I'm just going to put a little brown sugar. Then I will take some of my stevia powder. And on this stevia powder, at least it doesn't raise your blood sugar, but I'll just sprinkle some over that. That kind of gives you the idea that you put a lot of sugar in it and it's good and what have you. We'll just kind of coat that. Always got to put a little salt because if you have a little sugar, you got to have a little salt. Even though I don't use a lot of salt, can't. So that's pretty good mixed up. I get a little. I'll just taste that just to make sure. Oh, it's good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the croque pan, the small one. I'm going to get this small croque pan. And I'm going to pour these into it. You can put them in a black skillet too. You could put it in your black skillet. I'm just going to make that. Coming down in there. Let me see if I've got. I don't think I do. I'm like Grandma Grunch, you know it. Let me get in my pantry and I'll see. I've got so much stuff, y'all. Potatoes, the stuff I had a bunch of marshmallows. But I know we don't need them. So Maya took them away. Maya took the marshmallows away. No, God, we don't want prunes or raisins. Well, I don't know where the marshmallow. I think I took them away because we don't need all that. Mother and I do not need that. So now what I'll do then, I'm going to put these in my oven at 300. Bake them for just a little bit, not long. Turn it on, bake. Let's do it on 300. And we'll start. Then we'll be back. Okay, so now let's check the sweet potatoes. The baked cranberry and sweet potatoes. There we go. There's the baked cranberry and sweet potatoes. Yeah. See, that's glazed and they're soft. That's what you want. Yeah, they'll be good, I bet you. Too hot to taste right now. And there's a couple of hard places in there. I'll probably put them back in the oven for about 15 more minutes. But I'm going to go ahead and cut y'all off and show you so I can get this done. I'm going to go ahead and put these back in here. Turn that back on for about 50. You want them real soft. Now we've got our wonderful pork and all the good stuff, so maybe y'all can try this. Maybe it'll help you for Thanksgiving to give you a. If you do this ahead of time, you just pop in the oven and visit. That's all you gotta do. God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States. Dear Lord, I pray that everybody has something to eat. In Jesus' name we pray for everybody's health. So we'll be talking to you soon. I'm worn out. Bye-bye.